This is the future.
Before we begin, I would like to put some disclaimer on this video. First of all, I am not telling you what to pick in week 5 of the Incarnon Genesis rotation. This video's sole purpose is to give you information on what I'll be picking next week and why. Also, the things you see here are placeholders and were gathered through various leaks before the Incarnon Genesis release, but, based on what I saw, the leaks were pretty accurate, which made me believe that these will be the final stats of the Incarnon forms of the weapons available in week 5. Lastly, I have no details yet on the stats and Incarnon of the 2 melee available next week, both Incarnon Army Solo and Incarnon Uck and Brunt. In case you have heard or seen something about these Incarnon melee, then feel free to share it in the comment section below. Now, I know most people would go with the Incarnon Genesis for Soma, or more obviously, Soma Prime, since right now, it can be farmed in the Prime Resurgence easily, and it has the highest stats compared to the vanilla variant of Soma. In addition to this, the Incarnon leaked provided some pretty interesting perks for the Soma's evolution. In the second evolution, you can choose either to increase punch through with an armor requirement or add some overshield to your Warframe when you kill an enemy with slash. Take note that it specifically said slash and not bleed though. For the third evolution, you can fix the weakness of Soma Prime. I don't mind the recoil and accuracy of my Soma Prime, but I sure hope that it got faster reload speed, which is why I think the best in slot perk for evolution 3. And lastly, you got increased damage after reload from empty, bonus status, or increase crit damage for evolution 4. The increase is great for the augment mod Heart Satia, which increases critical chance in every hit, but it would be insane to pick that over the critical damage increase, which has no requirements to activate. Overall, the perk upgrades of the Soma Incarnon are pretty interesting, but some things bothered me with its Incarnon state. First of all, the Incarnon form of the Soma will drop its critical chance from 30% to 10%. The fire rate also drops from 15 to 7. In addition, the status change will drop from 7% to 1.75%. While its slash, multi-shot, critical damage, and spread increase, I'm kind of bothered by the fact that the critical chance will decrease. However, the Incarnon form might have insane amount of charge that will allow the augment to do red crit in no time, which is why Digital Extremes tried to lower the critical chance of this weapon to somehow balance it. The multi-shot increase on the Incarnon form is also very intriguing, and that is 8 times the normal version. There's no damage fall off to shots also, and the Incarnon form remains hit scan, which means this will somehow be something like just upgrades shots of Soma but a bit slower in terms of fire rate. But what if they add another feature for the Incarnon form, say, head-seeking bullets? Now that will change everything. Do remember that I'm just basing my judgment on the stats alone, and it might change in the future, but for now, the most interesting weapons for me in week 5 for Incarnon Genesis are the Burston Incarnon, and the Vasto Incarnon. The Burston perks are pretty solid in my opinion. First off, you are given a perk wherein you will gain multi-shot for the last burst in magazine. Then at tier 3, you get the fast reload perk, and at tier 4, you get to choose from 3 good perks. The first one is increased damage after each full burst, then an increase in critical chance, or a built-in galvanized status mod. Burston Prime has an insane status chance that can proc multiple status in just one burst, and the good thing about this is that, once you activate its Incarnon form, it will turn into a burst gun that deals heat damage that has mini AoE to hit a pack of close enemies. The stat buffs of the Incarnon form are also insane. Its critical chance jumps from 6% to 30%. Its status chance gets a massive 30% increase also, and the fire rate also ramps up from 5 to 20 shots per second, which leads me to think that this gun will turn full automatic in its Incarnon state. If that happens, then I'm seeing that this gun will somehow feel like the Letum that is automatic, deals mini AoE, and has innate elemental damage. Also, if this is true, then the 4th evolution perk that increases damage per full burst would only be useful for the normal variant, and it would be better to go with either full crit or innate galvanized status for its 4th evolution. And by the way, burst and critical multiplier goes up from 1.6 to 3 times in the Incarnon form, which makes it a better crit build, I guess. Then, there's the Vasto Incarnon, which has the craziest perks for week 5. The second evolution, which gives increased damage with no primary or secondary equipped, is kind of wild, and I don't know if this is just a typo, but I wonder how would this play out in real mission, and how much damage increase it will give. I think it's not secondary, and the one who leaked this meant melee. The tier 3 evolutions are all quality of life improvement for the pistol, while the tier 4 have something that piqued my interest, and that is the ammo efficiency on the headshot perk. The Vasto will be a burst fire pistol packing with a 30% critical chance, and double the slash damage. With the prime variant, it can't even scratch a steel path corrupted heavy gunner right now, but with a burst fire mode, with insane crit, slash, and then multi-shot, I'm kind of interested in what can the Vasto Prime do. Also, like what I said earlier, it has not been revealed what will be the Incarnon form of melee weapons coming next week, but I also got my eyes on the Incarnon. Probably my first pick will be the Burst and Incarnon, and it will depend on the stats of the Vasto or the Somu Incarnon having a good evolving mechanic. If my second best option fails, then I would go and cosplay like Tilrigger with the Incarnon. This shield and sword may not be as famous as its wielder, but the melee weapon already has insane slash, and all it needs are a little boost in critical chance and multiplier, then slap a lot of status chance on it so you can pair it with Weeping Wounds. The best part about this is that Incarnon have a solid 5-star Riven disposition, meaning you can get more damage, critical chance, or whatever you need for this weapon. Lastly, sword and shield use my favorite stance in the game, which is Final Harbinger, so it would be cool to turn this melee into a slash and bleed monster while mowing them down with its sick combos. Well, unless Digital Extremes suddenly turn those slash procs to impact. Just kidding, and I hope I don't jinx it. Every week, I'm excited about the new Incarnon Genesis and I can't wait to try them all out. Do remember, these are my choices and I think this is the best for me, and that is just my opinion. Anyway, there's no best choice in terms of Incarnon Genesis, as we will probably get them all sooner or later. We get to play all of them and these get added to our arsenal, which means we have more weapons to pair with our Warframes to satisfy that craving for power fantasy. Now, I would also want to know, what will you be playing next week? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.